Over the last year, me and my team had a chat with over 100 CEOs in the packaging industry with revenue below $10 million, and this is their main big three things that they had problems. Most of the times, small business owners think that they have sales problems because they want to, make profit, and from that profit they can grow their business. But believe me, they don't have the, sales problems. Most of them. With these, 100 businesses that we have a, chat with, 97% of them, after we actually realized the main problem, it was actually the lead problem. But how can you make sure that you're working on the right stuff on your business and not wasting, budget on the non-necessary, parts of your business? So the way that you do that is you try to identify the constraints or the bottlenecks of your business. You work from your goal and come back to the present moment and make the necessary step-by-step action plan so that you can actually reach it. For example, if I doubled my revenue tomorrow, what will happen to my business? What will break down and what will stay the same? And this is the only question that you have to ask yourself to actually identify what is the bottleneck of my business. If you look at the whole customer journey of your business, going from the very, very beginning of getting the leads to very, very end of closing the leads, you have leads, you have a sales process and a fulfillment process. The process is going to be the same for every possible type of packaging business. For example, if you're a manufacturer and your target audience are distributors, retails, and end users, it's the same thing as like distributors whose target audience are like retails and end users. Or for retails, they are probably selling B2C. So what you want to actually do is to figure out if I for example double the lead count of my business, what will break down for the rest of the journey, right? You can actually just become as detailed as possible. That's fine. For example, we can't say like right after leads it's going to be the follow-up that is going to be the bottleneck, meaning that there's not going to be someone in my business that is going to take care of the follow-ups of the leads other than myself, right? So you have identified the constraint and you work towards solving that, because once you get to the doubling your lead counts, the next big thing that you have to solve is the follow-up process for your business. If that's not the problem, you go to the next level, which is sales. Do I have the sales force to actually take care of the sales? Yes. Can I fulfill actually? Meaning that if I doubled the number of customers who are coming in, can I actually fulfill? Can I deliver on time, or is it going to hurt my business if I double the number of customers? And you go to the next level, it could be like retaining. Can you retain your customers as well? For example, in a year time, you're adding like 100 customers to your business. For the second year, it's going to be 200 and 300 and so on and so forth. Can you actually keep the current customers and keep gaining the new customers, and the current customers don't leave you because you are losing service, or you just failing to deliver the same quality of services or products, let's say. If all that thing is fine, if you truly get down to the numbers of your business, and you just go like, if I doubled my business tomorrow, nothing will happen. You change the number like 5x, 10x, it doesn't matter. Something will break down, I promise you. And once that's the problem, we can work towards solving that problem with your resources. If you have man resources, or like capital, like budget, to actually support that bottleneck so that you can release it and then you grow. So the business is basically you just find bottlenecks, you deconstrain it, you grow to the next level, and then something else breaks, and then you solve that, you go to the next level, and so on and so forth. So the next big questions that these CEOs have asked us was that, when is the right time for us to hire someone to do the job for us? For example, when should I hire an agency? Do I even need an agency? Do I need a third party, or do I have to hire people myself? Or when should I remove myself from tasks so that I know that I'm profitable enough? So a general rule of thumb for packaging businesses is basically a 3-to-1 ROI, meaning that for every dollar that you put in to your business, you have to get back $3. For example, you just spend $1,000 to actually get the customer. You have to make $3,000 from that customer. That means you're a growing business. If you're there, you can actually afford to think about other stuff as well. If you're not that profitable, you can knock on doors, you can attend seminars or events, trade shows, or whatever it takes uh, to get more customers and make profit. And from that profits, just bring new people so that you can go faster. The big problem that most CEOs have is that they themselves are the bottleneck of their own business. So they have to, work towards, faster, work towards removing themselves so that someone else can do that, and they, go to the next level and solve that, bigger problem. Example, we know that yes, leads are important, but closing the leads are more important even. The CEOs should be incentivized to actually go towards closing and have someone just taking care of the leads, finding the leads or working the leads, and send them to themselves so that they can actually close them because they have the highest conviction, and there's no one better at their companies who can actually do a better job. So for businesses below the 3 to 1 ROI, you should probably focus on getting customers yourself. There are a ton of tools out there like Apollo or Expandy so that they can actually find details or contact infos of their target audience or their potential customers, and they start emailing them, cold calling them, or texting them, or whatever it takes to just get them to buy from them, and then make money, and then do the rest of the journey like other CEOs. So yes, you have to make this trade off because at the beginning you don't have the money, so you have to trade time with money, and later on you trade money with your time. Now we go to the next big thing, which is sales itself. If your average order value is more than like $50,000 or $100,000, it's probably good for the company that you stay inside sales yourself and have someone do the prospecting or bringing in the leads so that you can close them. Because at the very beginning you're not that profitable to bring in salespeople so that they can sell for you. But if you're a business with a small average order value, the quality of the salesman that you bring in doesn't need to be like that high. It's like if they're at 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10, that's gonna be fine because they're gonna get the job done. Because it's not that hard to actually sell a like $100 thing, right? And most of the times, if you, for example, if your prospecting or lead generation process is just involves running ads, you probably don't need that salesperson as well. You probably sell directly online, and you don't need a salesperson. That's at the beginning, by the way. But the best way to do this is just make sure that if you're going to sell and stay profitable, 3 to 1 ROI is going to stay effective, or even greater, like 5 to 1, 10 to 1. ROI at the beginning should be achievable because you are inside business and you're not your cost is not that high, so that this trade off is going to lose its effect. But how to make sure that it's time for you to hire someone or it's time to actually remove yourself, because all businesses wants to work towards like removing themselves, delegating tasks so that they can actually just work on more stuff. So the way that we actually do this is that we figure out what's the net profit margin of the business that you're running is. For example, if you're at $1 million, right, and let's say your net profit, the money that you take home, is like 10,000. That's like 14 hours, $14 an hour, right? Let's say 10 for the sake of demonstration. You can spend $10 an hour and nothing will happen to your business, and that's the value of your time. And from there, we just make this transition towards how what's the next big thing if you remove yourself from that thing and you just focus on a more important task. uh, how much can you grow, right? For example, if you're prospecting yourself and do the closing yourself inside your business, and you have $10 an hour in savings, you probably want to bring in a prospector or an SDR, sales development rep, to help you get the leads, working the leads, and just send them to you so that you can focus on closing the sale. And the reason for that is like because hiring an SDR, let's say, is going to cost you $7 an hour or $8 an hour. You can't afford it, so that's why you should actually do it. But you can't do like bring another CEO or president who's gonna cost you like $400 an hour, right? So so the best way to do this is like calculate how much money can you afford to put back and lose without affecting your business. Of course, you can actually just borrow some money or raise money for your business, and so that you can remove yourself and do something faster with someone else, but the metrics behind that is going to remain the same. Now the next thing is retention. How can you retain your customers and work towards to the retention rate of 100%? If you bring someone and they stay with you forever, that's going to be like the retention is going to be 100%. To date, there's no business that has 100% retention rate, but you should work towards that. So what affects retention rate? Of course, the experience of your customers of working with you basically is going to determine what your retention is going to be like, or the experience of them using your product at their own location. So there are three things that you want to take into account for your business. It's price of your product, it's the churn rate, which is the opposite of retention rate. You want it to go down to zero, and it's the number of customers who are coming in. If you want to double your business, that means you have to double the price of your product. For example, if you're selling a $10,000 thing, you have to sell at 20,000, which is quite hard. It's like doing it overnight. You will lose half of your customers, if not all, all of them. They will leave you and they will hate you, right? So probably pricing is not going to be the right move, but you can focus on revenue generation and churn of your business. For example, if you doubled the number of customers who are coming in, you just basically doubled your business. Or if you cut the churn in half, you basically doubled your business. Example is like most businesses have churn around 10%. Let's take 10%. That means your customers are going to stay with you for 10 months. By the way, how you actually calculate that is like one divided by churn. Like one over 10% is going to be 10 months. That 10 months is going to be lifetime value of your customers. That's the amount of time that your customers on average will stay with your business. If you have a 10% churn, you have a 10 month worth of value from your customers. That means they're paying you. But if you cut down churn from 10% to 5%, that would mean like going from 10 months to 20 months, right? You can actually see the difference. So that's like a customer staying with you for 10 months or a customer stay with you for 20 months. Can you do that or make that change? Imagine how much quality or how much service or experience that you have to put in around your product so that they will stay with you for a long period of time. But this is probably what you want to focus on, because in the long run that will pay off, because once customers have good experience with you, they will tell their friends or they will tell their partners about your business, and they will probably they will buy from you, and the word of mouth will actually pile up, and the referrals will just come in through the door without you having to market for your business. But you can't just do that from the very beginning, because it's just going to take you decades with no revenue generation. That means it's just going to be really hard. So you have to compromise and do both of them at the same time, like bringing down, working towards bringing down the churn, while at the beginning you focus on the right marketing, the right sales, so that you can generate the sales or profits more than 3 to 1 ROI, so that you can bring down churn. So bottom line for smaller businesses, if it's manufacturing, distribution, that doesn't matter. The metric stays the same across all the businesses. Is basically if you're below like 3 million, 1 million, you're probably are suffering from the cash flow of your business, which is the revenue generation, marketing, sales. You should probably, focus 90% of your, attention on generating the, revenue with more than 3 to 1 ROI. From that profit, you can put it back to the quality of your product and make it more valuable to your customers so that they can stay longer with you, and the growth metrics will just pile up one after the other, because the word of mouth, referrals, many other metrics will be introduced to your business without you having to going after a very expensive type of marketing.